Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Born Free here. I am back from New York Comic Con. It was amazing, sensory overload, 4 days of craziness. Rick and Morty is extraordinarily popular. I also saw Blade Runner yesterday, but we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Street Fighter V Arcade Edition. I've been wanting to talk about this for a long time. What, 4 days? Seems like a long time, right? I did talk about it. I did talk about my first impressions about a lot of the stuff that was announced, but can we talk about the trailer? Because I got a couple of things, a couple of speculations. And if you don't like speculations, I've said this before in the past, if you don't like speculations, skip the video. I'll see you in the next one. But I have some thoughts, and I would love to hear your thoughts, your speculations. What are you thinking? So the first thing is, the minute I saw the trailer, I know it's a cinematic trailer, right? But that was a choice made. There isn't like any gameplay in it. There isn't any like, here is the, they have a lot of stills of like the menu system and, arcade mode and all that sort of stuff, but they didn't include that in the trailer. They have this cinematic trailer. Now you might say, it's just the new opening for the game. That's very possible. And you might say, and some of it has, hints at new stages. That's very possible too. But there's something about it, to me, that just screamed general story mode, cinematic story mode. Like, there's going to be another story mode. Now, that was, just a gut feeling at first. Then recently, I saw a tweet from Xkira, who's been pretty on the money, saying that there is evidence for another story mode. Then you have to kind of look at, what are they trying to achieve with the relaunch, right? They're really trying to capture video gamers, casual gamers, but, I just like to call them video gamers, right? People who want to buy the game and just play it and not necessarily have to play ranked or, get involved in getting their head kicked in online, but just kind of want a lot of single player content. So it's very possible that, they went about making a new story mode. It could be, it could be shorter. It could be a prologue. It could be a side story. I don't know, right? The other thing to note is the absence of certain characters, right? Because what they've done is they've included the 3 most popular characters in Street Fighter, in the Street Fighter universe, basically, which is Akuma, Ryu, and Chun-Li. And you could argue that Ken's up there as well, but they pretty much got the 3 most popular characters in there. And then they've got all of the new characters to Street Fighter V, right? With a couple of exceptions. And the exceptions are kind of interesting, because there's no Nakali and there's no Fung, right? Now, in the general story mode, Nakali disappears, not going to reappear for another 1,000 years. And Fung is part of the downfall of Shadaloo, right? So it's interesting that they are not included, whereas, Laura and Rashid are, who were part of the original 4 new characters of Street Fighter V. Then you've got the Season 2 characters, right? So you've got Colleen, you've got Abigail, you've got Manat. Of course, you don't have Zeku yet, although by the time this video comes out, I guarantee you there's probably a trailer of Zeku. And you have, the only character that's missing out of Season 2 is Ed, and I don't really know why. That's the only one. I find that weird. Why is Ed not in there? It just seems odd to me, because I don't think it's random. I feel like Ed should be in there, but he's not. So, let me know in the comments why you think that might be. Now, in the actual trailer itself, if we just go through it really quickly, what you have is Ryu meditating, right? He's got like a ball of light, which is obviously, I guess, ki. And then it goes into his head, and in his head, Akuma appears from a waterfall, does the kata for the Satsu no Hado, and then fights Ryu, right? I don't understand the significance of the waterfall. That seemed to be like a Nash thing for me. I don't know if that's a remnant from a mixture of his memories, or if it's just, Capcom reusing assets, in which case, you could be like, Born Free, you are just speculating, your speculation is all wrong, this is just Capcom just wanting to put a short video together that would play at the beginning. Imagine if it actually did play this time, at the beginning when you load up the machine, which is possible, right? But then you have like, you know, some stuff which looks like, you know, it could be new stages or it could be new areas or I don't know, but you have Rashid in the middle of nowhere. You have, before that, you have Chun-Li. Now, Chun-Li is in a room with roses and petals, and it's a bit of a sparse room. It has a dresser on it. It really sort of reminds me of what I guess is the most famous scene in the anime, right? And you know, all of this stuff is kind of nostalgic. It's 30 years of Street Fighter, right? It reminds me of when she gets out of the shower, puts on a night dress, and gets attacked by Vega. And Vega, by the way, has a rose, right? So there's some symbolism there. It feels like a homage to that scene. I might be completely wrong, but they did just release a sleepwear costume for Chun-Li, so who knows. Anyway, you have Manat. Manat is in a city. You know, at first I thought, you know, she's Egyptian, so it'll probably be Cairo, but that looks nothing like Cairo. And then when she raises the crystal ball, a couple of things happen. One is she moves her head and you see like the number 30 in the background, which represents 30 years of Street Fighter. And in the crystal ball, the reflection, if you look deep into it, you will see that there's like it looks like Japanese writing, and then there's actually a picture of Ryu from Street Fighter 1. So I'm guessing this could actually be a stage which celebrates 30 years of Street Fighter. Then after Manat, you have Colleen in the snow, you have Laura, you have Abigail in like a junkyard. These could all just be stages. I could be completely wrong about cinematic story mode. But then, you know, you got this whole evil Ryu thing going on again, right? You got Ryu with red eyes, and that's really the second thing that I wanted to say about this trailer, which stands out to me, which is why have we? I know it's in his head, right? And but he wakes up in the dojo, and his eyes are red, so the Satsu no Hado is stirring in him again, right? So something's going on. And whether it's a cinematic story mode, which relates to Akuma and Ryu, which would be really cool, I think. It may be that. But why is evil Ryu reappearing? When in general story mode, you know, they kind of, he had surpassed that, he'd gone past that, he'd discovered the power of nothingness. You know, he'd purged it. So I started thinking about it more from a business perspective, and imagine you're at Capcom, right? As far as Street Fighter goes, your biggest success recently is actually Ultra Street Fighter 2 on the Switch. You know, what would be your basic takeaway from that, right? Because Capcom tend to take very basic takeaways from their releases, their learnings. The basic takeaway would be, okay, well, Street Fighter 2 is still very popular and people love it and they want to play it. The other takeaway would be, we added Evil Ryu and Violent Ken. They added those for a reason, right? Mainly because they're easy to make because they're clones with a couple of extra moves. But also because those kind of characters are popular. Maybe not amongst the very loud, kind of like hardcore FGC, who are the tip of the iceberg. But there's a whole bunch of other people who love Evil Ryu, Violent Ken, Evil anything, right? And it would not surprise me, and I know there's already been an Event Hub's article on this, would not surprise me if, I thought at first Evil Ryu would be a V-Trigger, but it doesn't look like that's the case based on the pictures that we've seen. It would not surprise me if they are going to bring out Evil Ryu in the next season. From a monetary perspective, from a marketing perspective, from a business perspective, he's really popular, and I could see that being a thing. So let me know what you think about that. So let me know what you think, whether you think there'll be a general story mode. Let me know whether you think there'll be Evil Ryu. And then the third thing I wanted to talk about was Xkira had posted some information today saying that in the data mining it had sort of said that there's not just 2 V triggers, there's 2 V reversals, there's 2 V skills, there's 2 critical arts, right? This is something that a lot of people had been speculating anyway. In fact, people have been speculating that, you know, or hoping that there's way more than just an extra V trigger, right? That there's 2 of everything, and, you know, that the gameplay is looked at, you know, crush counters looked at, anti-air jabs looked at, you know, just the general creativity of the characters is looked at, having more options, that kind of thing. That leak is also, I think, backed up by something I highlighted last time, which was the very strong wording from Andy Yong in the Capcom Unity blog, which said each character will receive a second V trigger, and he says which will significantly change their play style. You may need to relearn your main, or perhaps try another character which speaks to you in a different way due to their alternate abilities. Now, to me, that is not just an extra V trigger, that's a lot of stuff going on, right? So, again, let me know your thoughts, guys. I'd actually like to see extra V skills. I'd like to see extra V reversals for sure, because some of them are very weak and some of them are very strong. Some of the V skills are very weak, some of them are very strong. You know, it feels like these characters definitely need options to make them more viable. Yeah, and that's kind of about it. Those are sort of like the 3 main things that I wanted to talk about. So that's it. Peace out. Until next time. It's exciting stuff, right? Zeku trailer, when's it coming?